Lesson, welcome back. This is mini lesson number 2 for our All About a Topic Google Digital Skills assignment. I'm going to go over adding animations and transitions to your Google slide. Some of that is covered in the video, but I'm going to go in a little bit more in depth and show you how to do this. So I have already added a couple more slides to mine. I didn't want to take up too much time having you guys watch me do that. But this is, I just had this first page. We did this in the last video and created a theme and added my title and went over finding some different fonts. So I added a couple more slides to this. And one thing you'll notice is, while I use the same theme and this first slide has the 2 green lines on the top and the bottom and the little dashed lines to the side. When I go to my next slide, I used a different layout. So it has a little different look to the theme. You just see this green line at the bottom. And the same thing with this third one. It does not have any green in it because I used a different layout. This particular slide uses this title and 2-column layout. So it doesn't have a green line, but it automatically uses the same coloring for your words. So the font that I had originally chosen was this Nothing You Could Do font, a handwriting font. And I use that throughout for my titles on each of my pages. So this is orange and it's this Nothing You Could Do. But for my paragraphs and bullet points, I use this other font called Indie Flower. And I found that by going to more fonts like I showed in the last video. And I looked at handwriting fonts. I wanted to keep it kind of similar, but a little different. So with that, I'm going to go over how to add a transition. So right now, if I present my slide, it just goes from one side to the next without much there. Now I thought I had deleted all this, so sorry. I'm going to get rid of this because I was playing around with it. So if I hit present, it just pops in there. When I hit next slide, it just switches from one slide to the next. Not too interesting. But I'm going to show you how to add a transition. So slide transition is kind of how it goes from one slide to the next. So right now there's none attached to it. And if I click here, there's a few you can choose from. So if I hit dissolve, and you can make it go really fast and you'd barely notice it, to really slow, about almost 5 seconds. I'm going to put it kind of in the middle so that you can really see what it looks like without it taking too long. And I'm going to click apply to all slides. So it's going to be the same transition from one to the next. When I hit present, now when I go from one slide to the next, you can see it kind of fades out from one and comes in from the next one. And this is 2.5 seconds is kind of slow. So that is dissolve. And one that I kind of liked was flip. So I'm going to apply that to all of them and hit present. So now, whoops, I want to start at the beginning. Let me go back to the first slide so you can get the real effects of this. And present. And it kind of looks like you're going from the front to the back of another slide. All right. So I kind of like that one. You can play around with it and see which you really like and choose something that fits with what you're doing. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to add object animations. So the first thing you do need to do in order to do that is you need to select the object. And right now I'm selecting the title. And I go over here to the right and hit add animation. And when you click on it, right now it's set to fade in on click. On click means when you click on your screen, it's going to fade in. And there's quite a few choices here to choose from. And I'm going to leave it with fade in. I kind of like that. But I want it to happen as soon as the card opens up so I don't have to click. So if you hit after previous, that means when the card shows up, when you present, after that happens, your title is going to come up. And I'm going to add it to my name as well, because if I don't add it, so if I don't do an animation to my name will be there when I hit present. So if I hit play, the slide's going to have my name to begin with. It's going to open up with my name, and then you see volunteering with rescues kind of fades in. But I don't want my name to be on there right away either. So I'm going to add an animation to that. I'm going to let that one fade in, but I'm going to say after previous. So that means it's going to come in after the volunteering with rescues. I also want it to be a tad slower. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. I'm going to make it just a little bit slower. So now when I hit play, it's going to flip over and then volunteering with rescues, and then my name fades in. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do on the first card. Here's the second card. Oh, I have to hit stop. Sorry. The second card is where to volunteer, and I just put some places that I volunteer at. One is Chicago Animal Care and Control, Alive Rescue, and Care. And so I'm going to add some animations to this. So for that first one, I kind of want to just stay with fade in for my title, and I'm going to hit after previous. So after the card flips over, then where to volunteer is going to fade in. And I'm going to slide this over to make it a little slower. Then I'm going to click on, this is just, I know it's going around the images, but this blue line is selecting the words. So I'm going to add an animation with that. And instead of fade in, I'm going to try up here. And I'm going to have that happen after previous. So that's going to appear after where to volunteer. And then finally, I'm going to have my images come in. So the first image, I'm going to have it, fly in from the left. Now you see that it says fly in and fly out. So if you do fly out, that means the image is going to be there when the slide shows up, and then the image is going to leave. I want my images to come in. So I'm going to have this one fly in from the top, and I'm going to have that one happen on click. So I'm going to click that when I want it to show up. I'm going to have this one fly in from the right. And I'm going to have that happen with previous. So what that means is when I click to have a live rescue come in, the CACC one will come in at the same time. And then finally, I'm going to click on the last one. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to add an animation to this one. And I'm going to have this one fly in from the left. So they're all coming in from different directions. And again, I'm going to have that happen with previous so that all three of my images come in at the same time, but they're all going to come in from different directions. So I'm going to hit play. And my title comes in, and then my words. And now when I click, all my images, I don't know why that one came in so late, but it should have come in together. So there's that one. And I can go on and do the last one, but I won't make you sit here and go through that. But this next slide talks about Chicago Animal Care and Control and some of the things I do when I'm there, and a couple fun facts. And I don't know if you see this. One of the fun facts is when they finally caught Chance the Snapper, the alligator that was in the lagoon, he spent a few days at CACC. And the Chicago Animal Shelter takes in all sorts of animals. They've had bunnies, they've had chickens, they've even had a couple pigs there at one point. So I've never got to work with those. Mostly I walk dogs and hang out with them and play with them and help people find animals to adopt. But I will go through and do that, just transitions and the animations to that side later. So that's how you add slide transitions. That's how you add animations to your words and your images. and how you can kind of change them up and have them happen at different times and stuff. So hopefully that helps you with this. And if you already turned yours in, and you didn't put any animations or transitions and you want to go back and do that, feel free to put those back in and turn it back in, and I'll take a look at it. So I look forward to seeing your slides and learning something new. So please turn those in, and I can't wait to see them. All right. Thank you, and we will see you in the next video.